Imagine this. You're in the middle of a heated argument. Your blood boils, your heart races, and in a single moment, your mind erupts in a fury of words you will soon regret. What if, instead of losing control, you could stand in the storm, unmoved, calm, powerful? What if you could master your emotions so well that nothing, no insult, no setback, no injustice, could shake your inner peace? This isn't a fantasy. This is the power of Stoicism, and today we're diving into the 5 daily habits that will help you achieve this unshakable mastery over your emotional reactions. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of people who seek inner strength and control, and if that's what you're striving for, you're in the right place. So, let's get into it. Control your emotional reactions with these 5 daily habits, rooted deeply in the teachings of Stoicism. Don't skip a second, because what you'll discover here might just change the way you live. The habit of daily reflection. We live in a world where distractions are everywhere. Notifications pinging, social media scrolls endless, people pulling us in all directions. But the Stoics knew that true power comes not from reacting to the world around us, but from reflecting on our own internal world. The first habit that can transform your emotional reactions is daily reflection, a practice as old as the philosophy itself, championed by legends like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. They believed that only through knowing ourselves can we control ourselves. Every morning, before the chaos of the day takes over, a Stoic practices self-examination. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, would often ask himself, "What is within my control?" And this is where we must begin. Ask yourself, what emotions are mine to manage, and which are driven by external events? In this simple question lies the foundation of self-control. By identifying what is under our control, we free ourselves from the shackles of external circumstances. The world can rage around us, but the Stoic remains grounded. The key is to dedicate a few minutes each morning to this practice. Sit in silence, free from distraction, and reflect. Think about the challenges ahead and the emotions they may provoke. Plan your response in advance, because to be reactive is to be weak, but to act with forethought is to be powerful. Seneca himself wrote that, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This is the heart of reflection, preparing your mind to handle any storm before it arrives. By practicing daily reflection, you are not just reacting to life's challenges, you are anticipating them. You'll find that over time, fewer things provoke you, fewer situations catch you off guard, and your emotional resilience will grow stronger. Reflection trains the mind to be proactive rather than reactive, and that is the hallmark of a Stoic who has mastered their emotional state. The habit of voluntary discomfort. Comfort is the enemy of growth. This is a truth the Stoics understood deeply, and they believed that voluntary discomfort was the key to toughening both body and mind. In the modern world, we avoid discomfort at all costs, seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, but the Stoic knows that to truly control your emotions, you must train yourself in the fires of discomfort. The Roman philosopher Epictetus taught his students to practice poverty, to deliberately experience hardship, so that when real challenges arose, they would not be shaken. This principle, though harsh, is liberating. By choosing discomfort, we break free from the grip it has over us. Think about it. How often do we lose control because we feel uncomfortable? We lash out in anger when we feel threatened. We fall into despair when we lose something precious. We panic when we face uncertainty. But if we train ourselves to embrace discomfort, we will not be its victim. Begin by incorporating small acts of discomfort into your daily life. It doesn't have to be extreme. Start by taking a cold shower or by fasting for a few hours longer than usual. In these moments of voluntary hardship, your mind will rebel. Emotions will rise to the surface: frustration, fear, anger. This is where the Stoic shines. Instead of succumbing to these emotions, recognize them for what they are: fleeting, momentary reactions. The Stoic endures them calmly, knowing they are temporary and ultimately inconsequential. This practice serves a dual purpose. First, it teaches you that discomfort is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced. Second, it strengthens your willpower, your ability to control emotional responses when real adversity strikes. By training in voluntary discomfort, you prepare yourself for life's inevitable hardships, so when they arrive, you face them not with fear or anger, but with calm resolve. As Seneca wisely said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The habit of detachment. One of the most powerful weapons in the Stoic's arsenal is detachment. To the Stoic, attachment is the root of suffering. When we cling too tightly to outcomes, to people, or to things, we give them power over us. We allow our emotions to be dictated by forces beyond our control. But detachment liberates us. It frees us from emotional slavery and gives us dominion over our own reactions. The ancient Stoics understood that life is full of uncertainty and loss. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the essence of detachment. By practicing detachment, we learn to accept whatever happens without being emotionally overwhelmed by it. It's not that the Stoic doesn't care, it's that the Stoic refuses to let external events determine their inner peace. To cultivate this habit, begin by observing your attachments. Are you too attached to the idea of success, to the approval of others, to material possessions? These attachments are chains, and each one holds the potential to trigger emotional reactions: fear of loss, anger at failure, jealousy of others' success. Detachment means loosening your grip on these external things, knowing that they are not truly under your control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This habit requires practice. Throughout your day, when you find yourself emotionally triggered, ask yourself, "Is this within my control?" If the answer is no, let it go. Detach. Understand that your peace of mind is far more valuable than the transient things of this world. The Stoic knows that true freedom comes not from having everything go your way, but from being unaffected when it doesn't. By mastering detachment, you reclaim your emotional sovereignty. No longer will the winds of fortune sway you. No longer will the actions of others dictate your happiness. You will stand firm, calm, and unshakable, a true Stoic in every sense. The habit of emotional deliberation. The next habit is perhaps the most crucial in controlling emotional reactions: deliberation. To deliberate is to pause, to think before acting, to weigh your emotions instead of letting them control you. This is where the Stoic strength truly shines, in the moments between stimulus and response. In those moments, the Stoic makes a choice not to react impulsively, but to respond with reason and clarity. Seneca wrote extensively about the importance of controlling anger, warning that the greatest remedy for anger is delay. This simple act of delay can save us from countless regrettable actions. When you feel emotions rising, whether it's anger, fear, or sadness, pause. Don't act. Don't speak. Give yourself a moment to deliberate. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic do? This question alone will often diffuse the emotion, because it forces you to step outside of your reactive mind and into a space of conscious choice. In those moments of deliberation, you regain control. You are no longer a victim of your emotions, you are their master. This habit of pausing, even for just a few seconds, can transform your life. Think of all the times you've reacted out of anger, only to regret it moments later. Imagine if, in those moments, you had paused, if you had given yourself time to deliberate. How different would the outcome have been? But deliberation is not just about delay, it's about insight. In that moment of pause, examine your emotions. Where are they coming from? Are they rational? Are they serving you? Often, you'll find that emotions are like waves, intense when they first hit, but they dissipate if you wait long enough. The Stoic knows that emotions are fleeting and that by simply waiting them out, we can avoid being controlled by them. The habit of contemplating mortality. The final habit is perhaps the most profound, contemplating mortality. It may seem counterintuitive, but by thinking about death daily, we actually become more alive, more present, and more in control of our emotions. The Stoics believed deeply in the practice of memento mori, remembering that we will die, not as a morbid fixation, but as a tool to focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This contemplation brings incredible clarity to our actions and emotions. When we realize that life is fleeting, we stop wasting time on petty emotions like anger, jealousy, and resentment. We stop reacting to the trivial and we start focusing on what is essential. This habit is not about fearing death, but about embracing life fully, with the awareness that it is finite. When you find yourself overwhelmed by emotions, stop and remind yourself, this too will pass. Our lives, our struggles, our emotions are all temporary. The Stoic understands that by contemplating mortality, we gain a deeper appreciation for the present moment and a greater control over our emotional responses. To practice this habit, take a moment each day to reflect on your own mortality. Think about how short life truly is, and let that thought shape your actions. Would you waste a day in anger if you knew it could be your last? Would you let fear paralyze you if you knew time was running out? The Stoic does not shy away from these thoughts. They embrace them, using them as a constant reminder to live fully and wisely. In contemplating death, we learn to live with purpose, intention, and emotional mastery. We no longer let the small, fleeting emotions of the day control us because we see the bigger picture. We are here for a brief time, and every moment wasted in emotional turmoil is a moment lost forever. By adopting this habit, you will find a deep inner peace, a calm that comes from knowing that nothing, not even death, can shake you.